Good afternoon, everybody. We've had another great day of trading. Didn't have a lot of volatility to deal with from time to time, but the E-mini failed basically in the 25 area. There was some resistance at 27.50.28, and we're currently at 18.11. So really good trading in this. We had some volatility to work with. Now, what I want to show you right here is this very clean break in the volume, most recent in the market's memory. So this 1832, 1833 area, based on the most recent activity, is where the low volume number is. Our attractor for a long time has been the 1804 area. It took the sounds of war coming out of Ukraine and Russia to get there. And we did it at the start of Globex. If we break this 1800 area right here, then the next stop's going to be the attractor at 1788. So this is where the market is pointed right now. We had really good news this morning. Retail sales greatly exceeded the previous month and was a little bit higher than what it was forecast to be today. Most of the increase came from increased car sales, so they'll be looking for other supporting data to back those numbers. And the meme has been lousy weather created poor first quarter outcomes for companies, earnings per share, the economy, etc. Everybody is poised to start spending money again this spring. The economy is going to take off in the second quarter. That remains to be seen. It is really easy to break things, to hurt things, to take performance down. It's very difficult to exceed revenues or performance to the upside. So that's what the market will wait to see. So right here, if we can't take out this 1804, 1805 area, a 30 to 40 point rally takes us back up to that 35, 45 area. And that's possible too. So my feeling is the sentiment has changed to negative, and the first evidence we have of that is that today's bullish news didn't rally the market back with any great momentum and with creating a trend day to the upside. So we have a lower high and a lower low. We can sell into strength to see if we can take out this 1803, 1804 area, and if 1803, 1804 holds, we can trade from the long side. Is this confirmed on the F2 screen? And we'll soon find out as I pop this thing back into the view. The area of our screen capture software. Okay, you can see the market came to balance. It was not able to trade higher, and we had pointed out earlier this morning this resistance that was basically 25 to 28. And it held. The market comes to balance in J period and it starts to sell. And where were we drawn to? We were drawn to volume, most recent in the market's memory. And that works. That's how the market is supposed to work. And you go from low volume to high volume and back and forth until the market sorts itself out. So we're going to have pretty good support in the 10 area, and then we're going to have pretty good support in the 5 area. And if we're going to assume a close right here, I'm going to give the market a little bit of room. I don't, maybe stops below 10 for buy 1. Really don't mind the buy 2 area, the 5 area plus or minus for buy 2. On the sell side, we're going to have our 15 to 17. And then the last rotate up was 2250, so we'll have our 19 to 21 for sell 2. And this is based on the idea that the market's going to close in this 1812 area. If the 1803, 1805 area holds, we can trade from the long side. So that's it for the E-mini. Okay, we had a great day in the note. We wanted to buy 13s to 17s. We originally wanted to sell 27s to 31s. That was lowered to sell against resistance at 24 to 28. So that would have given you a sell at 23 to 27. The market came off quite a bit from Friday's close. It was briefly up to start the Globex session, but when the stories or rumors of war receded, so did prices for the notes. So we got pretty good selling at 125, and we're probing for support, or where the buyer is right now. Looking at our F1 screen, cap flow screen, we've got a lower high and a lower low, so that makes us sellers. And if we can't break support down here in this 10 to 12 area where our tractor is, then we can turn buyers. We do have news tomorrow. CPI, no one will pay any attention to. It's called up a 10th, both for regular CPI and core. Empire Manufacturing Index at 7.5. That could cause some activity, especially if it is significantly over the forecast. Net long-term capital inflow, last month it was 7.3 billion, which is pretty low figure. I don't have estimates for that for tomorrow. And then the NAHB housing market index at 50. So the focus will be the Empire manufacturing number and then the housing index number, in my opinion. Looking at the F2 screen, it is a B pattern. We had very strong economic news, and this is the beauty of trading financials. They do trade fundamentally, and it's a market made up of fundamental traders. And if you've got negative news, they tend to sell. If you've got positive news, they tend to rally. And we had negative news this morning with this very strong retail sales figures, and the market sold. But it did not break. They got stops below Friday's low, and the market has since come back in the afternoon given the weakness in the E-mini. So we've got ourselves a B pattern. First resistance is going to be 20 to 24. Last rotate up was 20.5, so the sell is pretty aggressive, and it's going to be really dependent upon what the E-mini does. 19 to 23 is sell 1. Second sell will be 27 to 31. I'd like to get that trading done between 24 and 28. I mean 24 and 28, correct? So we'll have to see how that plays. On the news, on the buy side, I'm going to open it up a little bit. It's a B pattern, and a lot of it is dependent upon the E-mini. If the E-mini comes roaring back, we'll get this trade pretty easily. If the E-mini continues to sell, it's going to be out of reach. So we'll start out trying to buy 9s to 13s and then 1s to 5s, and we'll key off the E-mini on that. Don't think the financials are going to break because of what's going on in the Ukraine, because of financial instability, because of all the financial instability we see around the world. The 19 to 23 sell is aggressive. That sell zone will be based on the E-mini snapping back and closing above the 1815 area. And then the buy side, I'm giving it a little room to the downside, 9 to 13, and then 1 to 5. Quick look at the 30-year. once you've mastered the trading in the 10-year, you need to get to the 30-year and start making some money. It's 31.25 a tick. That's important. People don't realize the importance of 31.25 a tick. Just think about it. If you were scalping a 10 lot at value, it would be pretty hard not to make one tick on any trade that you put on in the middle of value. And trading a 10 lot, you'd be grossing 312. And after commissions, you're grossing in the high 200s. 10 times $3, that'd be $30 off of 12, so it puts you in the 280 area. A couple of trades like that a day really puts some big money in the account, and you don't really have to stick your neck out. The other side of that is that it easily can run 1 point in a day. And so it's pretty easy to take 16 to 20 ticks, 500 to $625 out of the market on a regular basis. You don't have to get it all. So to me, it trades the fundamentals. It honors support and resistance. It's 31.25 a tick. It's a very, very compelling contract. Okay, this order might be cute, but we're going to make it 5 to 9 for the buy side, and then 1 to 29 for buy 2. On the sell side, last rotate up is 19, so 19 to 23 is sell 1, and then 27 to 31 for sell 2. Very similar to the notes, because we've got a 10-point spread, very close to a 10-point spread on the knob spread, and that came in 2/32 today. If the E-mini breaks, we're not going to be able to buy 5s to 9s. We're going to have to pay up to get in. If the E-mini rallies back, I think we'll be able to buy it cheaper, but I don't think the bottom falls out of the market either. Gold. This morning we wanted to buy 15s to 18s. The low was 19. We wanted to sell 28s to 30s. The high was 31.50. That's really, really, really pretty good. That's a very, very good call given the volatility that you deal with in gold. I mean, this thing can trade 150, 200 ticks in a day, and to be able to get within a point or two of the high or low is really got a fairly sharp pencil. The financials are driving gold, and then the threat of war between the Ukraine civil war, Ukraine against Ukraine, civil war against Russia is holding the price up. So I see every time the market sells, buyers, and it's not a buyer looking to trade, make money trading or going back and forth. It's to protect their backside from their governments, from governments around them, and then the potential for war. The 4, what is it, pestilence, plague, that'd be one and the same thing. The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. So that's why you buy gold, or that's why people are buying it these days. So we're going to have the same sell zone, 28 to 30. Don't really like the sell side of the market. 33 to 35 will be sell 2. On the buy side, 20 to 21, 22. And if we break the 20 area, maybe 13 to 15 for buy 2. Why 28 to 30? It's resistance. Why 33 to 35? It's a high volume area. On the buy side, why 20 to 22? It's inside today's low. And if we bust 20 and do get some selling, that 13 to 15 areas where we wanted to buy it this morning. Okay, crude is telling us that the Russian-Ukrainian confrontation has diminished from where it was this morning at the opening. Don't think crude will sell off until Russia and the Ukraine have stopped shooting at each other verbally and every now and then with a gun. Russia's going to get what they want out of this. The ball is in Russia's court. They'll push it as far as they think they have to. And right now, I think Russia would be satisfied with the Crimea and a submissive Ukrainian government, central government. I think the problem Russia has is that the people in Ukraine remember what life under the Soviets was like. And if Russia wants to take over the Ukraine, they're going to spend a lot of money, and they'll have to expend some blood to do that. So I think Russia's probably gotten pretty much what they want out of this deal right now. The fly in the ointment is some dissident Ukrainian group blowing up the pipelines. Russia can't allow that to happen. So any threats made against Russian pipelines, any action taken against Russian pipelines, could escalate this thing in a hurry. So here we sit. We got a seller above a quarter, and we have a buyer against 103, and that's where the market is. So we'll make 103, 103 and a quarter by 1, 250, 275 by 2. On the sell side, we'll make 104, 104 and a quarter, sell 1, and then 104, 50, 75, sell 2. You know, everybody, you know, it's really funny. We got the blood eclipse. I love the name for that. Anyway, it's where the moon turns red. And I think it's after midnight for most people. Midnight till 2 a.m. is when it peaks for wherever your area is. And this happens 4 times in a year. And I have no idea if this is the end of the world or not, but people are already talking about this being the end of the world. But we do live in interesting times, I think anybody would readily admit. And I've never seen a red eclipse, so I'll probably, when I wake up in the middle of the night, probably saunter out on the deck and see what one of those things look like. It's going to be great here in Wichita. Tonight we're supposed to go down to 26. So tomorrow night, hopefully it warms up a little bit. But anyway, that's got some of the end of the world types all excited about it. And I don't belittle them, and I don't know when I transition from this level of consciousness to the next one, but I can remember when we were little and they were all this talk about a nuclear war with Russia. And in school we were having drills where we were getting underneath desks in case there's a nuclear attack. And of course, backyard bomb shelters were really talked about a lot, and some people put them in back in those days. And we used to ask my mom when we were kids, "Mom, are we going to get a bomb shelter and everything like that?" And she would say no, and of course we'd be all upset about that. And we couldn't understand her reasoning or logic. And we thought that she was being borderline cruel or mean. You know, this is the end of the world. If we have one of those bomb shelters, we'd be able to dig it out. But her reasoning or logic was, you know, who'd want to live in a world like that? And I'm not saying Mom was right either, but it was interesting to see the way the kids thought and the parents thought back in those days. Most of the adults said, well, you know, if this is it and this is all she wrote, so be it. And that's easier for an adult to say than it is for a child. Okay, the euro, we like this 40 to 50 area. That's still where support is. It worked out well for us. The low is 35, so let's take it down to 25 to 35 for buy 1. And then by 2, we'll make the 103 area, 103.10. God dang it, I'm still doing it on crude. What is the matter with me? Got to get it over in the right contract. I apologize for that. Okay, we like the 138 area this morning. 138.10 is what we liked in the euro, and that still looks good to me now. So 138, 138.10 will be by 1. If we break that, I think we're headed to 75. So we'll make 75 plus or minus by 2. On the sell side, 25 to 35, that's resistance. I'm not going to fight it. And then our 45 to 55 for sell 2. Europe's in a tough spot. Their central bank, every time they get a chance, preach lower euro currency so they can export to others besides themselves. And it's a fast way to turn things around. And then if you offer value and your currency is fairly priced at that level, it doesn't have to work against the country. But if you do what Japan did, they'll get the inflation they want, but they won't get the economic growth they desire. That's all I have for April the 14th, 2014. See you all bright and early in the AM. Thanks for joining us today. We look forward to shaking that CME money tree again tomorrow. Enjoy your evening. Be back bright and early. I'm out of here.